man, it was amazing. It was simply amazing. I said, you know what? I'm just going to run for office. Once I did that, I got my citizenship rights restored, and then I was able to run for city council, and that's where I reside now. I had my oldest daughter when I was 13, having that promiscuous behavior, doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, and trying to go to school, trying to make sure that I complete school. Then I end up getting pregnant again. I just didn't have anyone saying, listen, you have to take some form of birth control pills, or you shouldn't be having sex at all, or let me show you how to be a parent, or let me show. I had no one in place to teach me any of those things. We grew up in housing developments, and my siblings and I, we had to basically be adults and take care of ourselves, and that led to a path of destruction. Sexual activities for cash, just to, make sure that we had a meal, make sure that we had a tire to wear to school, those kind of things. Wasn't a good parent at all, and I was a teenager. All my friends, they're having fun, going to dances, doing everything that they want to do, but I was having to be a parent. Well, I got caught up, introduced to drug trafficking, and that led me to a whole different path of destruction. I got involved with a group of people that really didn't mean me no good. So it was just one criminal activity after another, transporting drugs to stealing, end up on a series of robberies, which led me to federal prison for 10 years of my life. First, I was in Tallahassee, Florida. They sent us to Tallahassee, Florida. And one of the guards, he sexually assaulted me. And I was devastated. How do you deal with being around men? How do you deal with, blame getting put on you? Was it my fault? Am I going to be able to be in a relationship again? It was those kind of things. I was just having a real hard time. We committed a crime, and we was there to pay our dues for crime. We weren't there to be sex slaves, So that wasn't right. So we end up having to go to trial about it. And once I spoke out about it, it was other females in prison that this was happening to. So it just brought everybody to the forefront, and they had to deal with it. This is what was happening in the system, and now we have to deal with it because somebody spoke out about it. Well, because of that, I got shipped to a prison in Carswell, Texas. And they held a church service, and the song came on. It said, it was called Praise Is What I Do. And I just started crying and just flat out at the altar, like, God, just take all this pain away from me. I can't do this any longer, leaving my children behind, committing crimes. And that's just not the way of life that I want. And I felt, how you just have like this out-of-body kind of experience, like it was reminding me that he was there, like this whole time, like I got you. Like I knew that I most definitely didn't want to come back out and be the exact same person that I was. So I prayed to God and said, God, if you could just deliver me from this, I will give you all the honor, glory, and praise every chance that I get the opportunity to. And just let me be that beacon of light for my family so they can see you and me, and they'll transform their lives the same way. I come home and it's the same environment. Nothing clearly had changed. The mindsets of the individuals were still the same. They were still entrapped in that same way of life. My fiance got killed, and it really opened up my eyes to something totally different. Like, man, we're out here just killing each other for no apparent reason. Here it is, I done lost somebody else who can provide for me. And me trying to walk, do the right thing, and I'm trusting and believing in God. And it was just one thing after another, and I was like, God, how do I keep moving forward? How do I get my faith stronger? How do I just continue to believe and walk strong in your faith without just giving up completely? So I just began to advocate for different things, issues that affected my community. So the systemic issues that were in place that clearly was designed for many people to go to prison. So I started, organizing community cleanups. I started a neighborhood association, started attending, the city council, going to the county commission, things that would affect the people that I loved. I started getting involved in it, and I started questioning who are our representatives. So I had no idea who the city council person was, who the county commissioner were. I had heard of the mayor, but it's like, who is he? Do he come out to our community? Those kind of things. How do we ask these important people questions? And how do we get them to see that it's a need out in these areas? And it just, that little spark started from there. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to run for office. So I won by 700 votes in the runoff. I was so excited. So that let me know then that, hey, that Chattanooga was ready for change. I think the ultimate solution is we have to have God present in our lives. We have to put prayer back into the schools. We have to put prayer back into the athletic fields. And we most definitely have to have prayer in our homes. That's the solution. So when we're talking about the impoverished conditions of communities, when we're talking about, our waters, the lack of transportation, the lack of anything for anybody to be prosperous, it just stems back to where we don't have ourselves in order. We're not living godly. We're not producing the fruit in a positive way that He would want us to.